Welcome to this segment focused on how you can master Alcon multifocal contact lens fitting. I'm Dr. Milana Matz. Being able to offer the right multifocal contact lenses for your patient's vision and lifestyle needs is a big part of successful multifocal strategy, but so is ensuring that you can provide patients with the right fit in an efficient way. As we will discuss in this segment, the unique design of Alcon multifocal contact lenses requires a unique fitting process. And as it turns out, the Alcon multifocal fitting process is simple, which helps make it easy to fit patients with high levels of success. So let's get started. Before we begin, I do have to let you know that this promotional speaker program is sponsored by Alcon Vision, and I am speaking on behalf of Alcon and am compensated for this event. Before we get into specifics about fitting Alcon multifocal contact lenses, here are a couple questions to consider. First, what are some of the factors that up to now have driven multifocal contact lens fitting success in your practice? And second, are there any aspects of multifocal contact lens fitting that have prevented you from fitting more patients? As we go through this segment, try to keep these questions in mind and think about ways in which Alcon multifocal contact lenses and the Alcon multifocal fitting process may be able to help you enhance your multifocal contact lens practice. When it comes to multifocal contact lenses, Alcon has a unique portfolio designed to meet the needs of your presbyopic patients. Alcon's multifocal portfolio provides three different lens materials for any lifestyle with two replacement schedules, daily or monthly replacement, and all have the same innovative optical design that is the Alcon multifocal 3-2-1 advantage. For patients best suited for a daily disposable multifocal lens, Alcon offers Dailies Total One multifocal, which features water gradient and smart tears technologies, and Dailies Aqua Comfort Plus multifocal, which has blink activated moisture technology. For patients who can benefit from wearing a multifocal lens with a monthly replacement schedule, Alcon offers Air Optics plus Hydroglide multifocal, which features its Smart Shield and Hydroglide technologies. As I just mentioned, regardless of the lens chosen, the patient gets to experience Alcon's innovative precision profile design, a unique design that adds minus power in the periphery of the lens and provides a consistent power profile across the optic zone for all powers. As we'll see shortly, this unique design requires a unique fitting process. The good news is that this process is easy to follow and leads to high fit success rates. What you see at the left here is the Alcon Multifocal Fitting Guide. The two steps covered on this page cover just about everything you need to know to easily and efficiently fit any Alcon multifocal contact lens. As evidence of the simplicity of Alcon multifocal fitting process, data show an 80% fit success rate with one lens per eye and a 96% fit success rate with two lenses or less per eye when the fitting guide is followed. Consistent with these findings is a survey of doctors who fit Daly's Total One multifocal contact lenses. More than 9 out of 10 individuals surveyed agreed that the lenses were easy and efficient to fit. As we'll see, the real key to success is just following the fitting guide every time you fit a patient in an Alcon multifocal contact lens. This includes when refitting a patient into a new Alcon lens material, for example, if a patient is switching from a monthly to a daily replacement lens in the portfolio. Doing this helps enhance the fitting success and can also help you be efficient with chair time. So now let's walk through the Alcon multifocal fitting process. Step one is the initial lens fit, which begins with getting a new spectacle prescription. Again, this needs to be done every time, including when refitting a current Alcon multifocal lens wearer in a new Alcon multifocal lens material. Once we have the new spectacle prescription in hand, we determine the initial contact lens power using the vertex corrected, most plus spherical equivalent distance prescription, then add plus a quarter diopter to each eye. We then determine the lowest acceptable spectacle add and select the contact lens add using the chart in the fitting guide and here at the right. It's important to remember to select the same add power for both eyes. If the spectacle add is plus 1.25 diopters or less, a low add lens should be selected for both eyes. If the spectacle add is plus 1.5 diopters to plus 2 diopters, a medium add lens should be selected for both eyes. And finally, if the spectacle add is plus 2.25 diopters to plus 2.5 diopters, a high add lens should be selected for both eyes. Once we have the initial lenses selected for the patient and they got them on, it's important to give them time to adapt to the lenses. The patient should be allowed to wear the lenses for 5 to 10 minutes outside of the exam room before coming back for visual performance assessment. Let's take a look at this step in action with this clip from Alcon's Fit Training video.
Recall that we start by determining the patient's vertex-corrected, most plus spherical equivalent distance prescription. In this case, the exam gives a sphere prescription of right eye minus a half diopters with a plus 75 add, and left eye minus 2 diopters with a plus 75 add. Following the fitting guide, we select the lenses by adding a plus a quarter diopter for each eye, giving us right eye minus a quarter diopters low and left eye minus 175 diopters low. We select the low add lens, given that it covers patients needing up to plus 1 1/4 diopters of add power. After applying the lenses, we give the patient 5 to 10 minutes to experience the lenses outside of the exam room before coming back to assess their visual performance.
As patients are adapting to their Alcon multifocal lenses, it's important to suggest a few ways for them to test their near, intermediate, and distance vision outside of the exam room. For example, I like to tell patients to take a few minutes to read their email or browse the web on their smartphone to test their near vision. I also recommend that they go to the optical department or look at a computer screen to test their intermediate vision. Finally, I encourage them to go for a quick walk outside to see how the lenses perform when viewing objects at a distance. These are all good ways to get patients to evaluate their lenses performing real-world visual tasks under real-world lighting conditions. This is where they live their lives, and taking the time to do this helps patients give us an idea of what their biggest needs are and ways in which we can individualize their lens fit. So after the patient has had a chance to try their lenses out for 5 to 10 minutes, we need to perform distance over refraction for each eye. We do this for each eye separately with handheld lenses with the patient keeping both eyes open. For each eye, we add plus power and quarter diopter steps, each time asking the patient to assess their distance vision. We do this until the patient reports a decline in distance vision. It's worth pausing for a moment here to note why we add plus power at the step. It comes back to the unique design of Alcon multifocal lenses. Recall that the precision profile design adds minus power in the periphery of the lens, and this additional minus power can often result in a plus power over refraction at distance. It also means that plus power can be added without affecting distance vision. Through intensive research, Alcon has refined its multifocal fitting process to help maximize fit success. And this addition of plus power during the distance over refractions is an essential but easy to follow step. So after having performed the distance over refraction for both eyes, we need to verify the results binocularly by having the patient look at distance and near objects through the handheld lenses and apply the new lenses based on over refraction. If needed, keeping the add the same. If the patient's vision is functional, then we're done. We can go ahead and dispense trial lenses for a 5 to 7 day real world evaluation and schedule a follow-up visit so that we can see how the patient is doing with their lenses. Let's take a look at this step in action with the following clip from Alcon's Fit Training video.
The next step is to perform a distance over refraction, with both eyes open using handheld lenses on each eye separately and by adding plus power in a quarter diopter steps until the patient reports a decline in his distance vision.
Let's now look at the specifics for the patient in this video.
Beginning with the right eye, we add plus a quarter diopters and the patient says that his distance vision has gotten worse. So no change is needed and the final right lens is minus a quarter diopters with a low add. With the left eye, we add plus a quarter diopter and the patient reports no change in his distance vision, so we add another plus a quarter diopter. In this case, he reports that his distance vision is worse. Given that the first plus a quarter diopter added did not change his distance vision, we adjust the prescription of the final left lens to minus 150 diopters with the low add. We verify the result binocularly by having the patient look at real-world distance and near objects through the handheld lenses and apply the new lenses based on the over-refraction, keeping the add the same. For this patient, the final prescription is right eye minus a quarter diopters with a low add and left eye minus 150 diopters with the low add. His vision is adequate, so we dispense the lenses and have him schedule his 1-week follow-up.
After patients have been fit with their new Alcon multifocal contact lenses comes the adaptation period, during which they take their lenses home and try them out during their daily lives. It's really important that patients know what to expect during this period, but also what they can do to test their lenses' performance and get the most out of them. The first thing to tell patients is that it takes about 5 to 7 days to adapt to the lenses, and that during this time, as long as they wear the lenses, they should notice improvements in how they perform. The next thing patients should know is that they can actually help the adaptation process along by wearing their lenses as much as possible during all of their usual activities, work, sports, social events, and anything else that they normally do. Finally, it's important to let patients know that when they come back in for a follow-up, adjustments to their prescription may be necessary based on what they experienced during the adaptation period, and that this is totally normal part of getting the prescription just right for their individual needs. The lenses they take home after their fitting might not be quite perfect, and that's not a problem. When patients come in for their follow-up appointment, they should be prepared to discuss when the lenses perform well and when they perform less well so that the right adjustment can be made. The point is to maximize their vision in their everyday environment. Here are a few suggested starting points for setting patient expectations for the adaptation period. Remember, you know your patients best and what they will respond to, but I find these to be helpful starting points. The most important thing is to make sure that the patients understand that if they commit to wearing their new lenses, they will adapt to them and will see improvements in the lens's performance. It's also important to remind patients that the fitting process is really a partnership, and their commitment and input at follow-up will go a long way to ensuring success. And remember, reasonable expectations can be set while maintaining a positive approach. It's good to use terms like improvement and adaptation, but to avoid using terms like worse vision or blurry that could make them feel discouraged before they even begin. There are also some simple but really valuable tips that we can provide to patients to help them adapt to and get the most out of their new multifocal contact lenses. We should remind them that for near vision tasks like reading or light or where lighting is dim, using additional light sources and adjusting working distance as needed can make a big difference. We should also remind them that their multifocal lenses are designed to work together, and so they should be using both eyes for all visual tasks. Patients should also be encouraged to wear their new lenses in real-world settings as much as possible. That's where they live and where we need to get the lens's performance right. Finally, to help them with distance vision and bright conditions, patients should be advised to wear non-prescription polarized sunglasses over their contact lenses. After patients have had a chance to trial their lenses, they'll be back for follow-up. As we discussed earlier, this is the opportunity to make any adjustments needed to get the fit right for the patient's needs so that the questions that we ask are important. A few suggestions are provided here. Again, you know your patients best, but these are a good starting point. The most important thing is to get an understanding of when the lenses have been working well for the patient and where there's room for improvement. This can guide any further adjustments to the fit that may be needed. Of course, follow-up is also the perfect time to remind patients of all those helpful tips that we just covered. In summary, remember, Alcon multifocal contact lens fitting success is driven by using the simple fitting guide for every fit. In addition, when fitting multifocal lenses, it's important to always listen to patient and help them understand what they can expect from their lenses. Patients should know that part of ensuring success is their willingness to communicate their needs and their experience to their doctor. Finally, in addition to providing the right lens for a patient's needs, it's essential to provide them with tips to help them have success and to know when to make adjustments to the prescription. Speaking from my own experience, following the FIT guide and taking the little bit of extra time needed to talk to patients and guide them has led to high rates of success. And I think I can do the same for you. Thank you and happy fitting.